Doc, what is in the body controls the growth of the male reproductive system? Is there anything us men can do to enhance this growth? Can we recommend any good books on the adrenal glands? Boy, I wish I could recommend a good book on the adrenal gland. There's the Adrenal Fatigue, and I've read that one. It was like, you know. All I can say is that all glands, all organs, all tissue is nothing but a cell and or cells and two major fluids, the lymph fluids, the interstitial fluids, and you could categorize that fluid as the lymph fluids, a little water, a little lipid, of course, but you could just categorize it as the lymph fluids. And then you have your blood fluid. Of course, you have other fluids that are aspects of those fluids, of course, no question. But if you kept it simple, the two major fluids of the human body is blood and lymph. And a lot of the other fluids get their texture from the lymph. You'll notice synovial fluids and other fluids are lipid-based fluids, eye fluids. And that's because, again, of the acid nature of chemistry and its effect upon cells. So, obviously, the body has to have some lipid-based fluids for protection there. The testicles, of course, the gonads, again, the endocrine gland formula for that, the ovaries, but the pituitary and the hypothalamus area controls the whole body there. So having a good central nervous system, having a good pituitary is as important as having the gonads in a good shape. So getting the body healthy from head to toe is a systemic move, is a vital move, because everything works together. Don't forget the colon and its relationship to the male organs. Remember that colon, that embryonic truck, so cleaning out the bowels, vital to getting health in the body. Restoring kidney function and getting kidney filtration up so you can clean the body. All these things are vital for any condition, whether it is sexual impotence or whether it is hyperactivity of anything. I don't care what it is. The basics of the human body must be observed. The gut must be cleaned. The embryonic trunk, the symbiotic relationship of that and all tissues. Then you go and you're going after the lymph, which filters all tissues. You're going to clean the blood, will clean on its own doing all that. And you're just going to clean up the human body. What more fun is that? So there's only a few organs and glands in there, not a lot. So you just go in and you have fun with them. You use the herbs. Boy, I tell you, I got excited making those formulas. I'm crazy when I'm making formulas. And I tell you, I'd probably have 40 reference books and, you know, and my own personal experiences, although I haven't had a lot with individual herbs because I'm a formula maker. And I like formulas better than single herbs. They're more powerful. If you said anything, you can understand maybe a little why homeopathy works, because when you get a synergist action of herbs, now they get more into the etheric side of these things, which was not understood by medical doctors hardly at all. But at the same time, I like a little more power up front. I like the botanicals. I really think that you can take those botanicals out too far. Medi-herbs, one-to-one, but you're blow-drying them and reconstituting them. And so after several of these stages, you're going to lose the power of the herb. And I think the raw power of the herb, as close as you can get, that's a butt kicker. I'm telling you. So that's why I like strong formulas. But I wanted 2 more kidney formulas. And so someone sent me something on this formula that has astragalus root in there for getting rid of sulfur. And it was some formula medical doctor, and he had ethanol in there. It was like, what? So it was a horrible formula. But we'll see how asparagus root effects on sulfur. So I'll play with that. You guys want to play with that, go ahead. We're going to get some asparagus root in and see. I know I keep thinking astragalus because I just love astragalus. I love all these powerful herbs in nature, you know. But if we can find something like asparagus root to help move sulfur out, that would be cool. That would be a good find. I will admit it. I have another medical doctor friend who just hasn't found anything yet. But again, we don't play with all these different herbs. We know what to look for because we have the eyes, we can see sulfur, we see it in the stool on a detox of ours. Sometimes it takes a while to break the sulfur loose. If we had something that would actually help to loosen and break this up quicker, that'd be cool. But it would also have to loosen and breaking up mucus quicker, which means that's the lymph system, so it'd be a good lymphatic herb. So we'll see. We'll keep playing. That's what this is all about. Once you get the basics and you know what's up, now it's a long road to getting people well, helping them, exchange ideas, tell me what works, I'll tell you what works, what I've seen not work, you know, those things. We know the focus, we know the direction, we've got good formulas, we've got strong formulas, we're going to make stronger formulas, so we're all going good down that road. So it's just getting people, especially the most involved with some of these deeper cancers where the medical doctors destroyed billions of cells through chemo. This is why I made those 2 cell rejuvenators, because the damage that chemo and radiation does on cells, we got to help these people quicker, and these are going to be powerful cellular proliferators or enhancers, strengtheners, rejuvenators, regenerators. But I would get the prostate cleaned up. Again, I talk about this, but get the prostate cleaned up. Get the kidneys filtering first. Get all these acids moving out, so all the inflammation's out. Then you're going to have a better blood flow. All the glands are going to pick up. The testosterones are going to kick up. And see how that does. You can always move into the male herbs. There are so many. My male reproductive formula, real hot formula. Don't recommend the hot herbs, though, when you're already hot. When you're full of acidosis, don't really pick up a lot of hot herbs, because even in Chinese lore, we look at yin and yang, hot and cold, that sort of thing, acid base or alkaline, and you have to observe that a little bit. Even the medical community understands that a little bit. And you know what's ironic to me is that in oncology, we'll give Lupron for testosterone inhibiting, we'll give Rumidex, or what was the other one for years? Not the bone-killing Fosamax, but another one that women took to suppress the estrogens. We'll suppress the acid steroids, but we'll give an acid at least 50, at least probably 75 to 100 times hotter than those steroids. Is that insanity? I mean, is that crazy? And as a civilized society, we buy into that? As any university professor out there would buy into that and not shake the bush and say, what are you guys doing? Putting in an acid 10 to 50 times hotter than the acids that are damaging the cells, and you want to find remedy to that matrix? Holy crap. Those are real meat eaters, boy. They can't even think. This is FRNKNSNS. Hey, man. What a sweet piece of... oh, thanks. Thanks a lot for your thing. I appreciate that. Quick question. I'm growing a lot of herbs now. Oh, good. Yeah. You know, I'm hoping supply and demand will get people excited about growing herbs and about getting the food better. Oh, man, we could make a big difference, all of us working together as a team. Not antagonistic to each other, as a team. I allow for your differences in thinking. It doesn't matter to me. You know, it's just whatever you find works. But I'd like to see this work really get out there, and you guys are doing a great job. My sadness is with, like, Dr. Jensen, whose iridology work was insurmountable. It was just incredible, and yet they want to bury his work. You know, he should have never given it to his son, but, you know, who else? Too much for us. But you can see what's happened to that. And it's like this whole ridiculous concept of German iridology. I was hoping that would die away years ago. It doesn't help. Let me see. Is it better to eat them raw or try to use them in a tea or try to tincture them? Well, you can do all those different things. I personally, I see nature as raw, so I think in the raw state, but boy, you have to be real careful in the raw state. Just like raw foods, raw herbs are real butt kickers. The problem with it is right now you have a lot of cultivations between, let's say, June, July through, say, September, October, a lot of cultivating. But, well, in the middle of January, you can't have those herbs fresh. I mean, realistically, in a clinical work like this, where you guys have your clinics, I have mine, we have them all around the world. Gotta have a lot of herbs. That's the other problem we're going to face is while crafting the herbs. We're already facing that with a couple of them. Golden Seal was one, that we're almost losing that one. What was another one? Not Lady Slipper, but there was another one. It was almost gone. Well, it's just a raw, try it, but I'd go small amounts with the raw and see where you are on the raw. Always tease, dry them, air dry them outside somewhere, with the screen or something, and air dry them real slow. Makes for strong tea. And then you can always tincture them too. So all of those are all good things. But I'm so glad to see, sweetheart, that you're, Monica, that you're doing that and kicking butt there. I mean, who's doing this one? That's not Monica. That's FRNKNSNS. But good work. This is Monica. Hi, dear. I have been trying to change the consciousness of people around me. Thought it would be easy. Thought I would, didn't you? I did too. I know what you're up against, sweetheart. That's why I'm doing this as opposed to putting on all these spiritual seminars, because this is where people need it. This is where the gross change of consciousness needs to take place. There's plenty of books out there, but this is where the gross consciousness needs to change, and their health is the big doorway to do that, because a lot of the diets are keeping man down to the earth, keeping his head up his butt. I mean, it's just all kinds of problems with the kind of foods and vibrational rates of the foods and things that we're eating. So I know where you're at, but I'm not giving up. Don't give up, my dear. Because I know how important. Yeah, you're a good lady. Good work, sweetheart. You're exactly in the heat of it there, and this is the nature of it. It gets frustrating to spiritual people, but at the same time, get your sukkah from the Supreme Being, or God, whatever you wish to call that. Make that your sukkah, that your joy, which is really you. Make yourself and your relationship with the all and with all things the sukkah. That way you'll love all things the same. Someone comes up and needs help, then you'll give them help. You can change them a little, and you'll learn what words, the key words that you can drop, because you won't be attached to the drama that's taking place, even in converse. That sometimes I forget that, in conversation I get trapped in that, in the dialectics and everything. And so if you sit back and become a channel, you'll know appropriately right when to interject things. And you always want to bring your friends into the now. You always want to get them to go beyond thought. Play with stop thinking. Play with observation. Play with out-of-body travels. This is the real rush. If you're an adrenaline junkie, there's only so much you can do on the planet, bar cutting your head off or slamming into a tree coming off a mountain. But out-of-body travel is the adventure of all adventures. Should be exciting for a lot of people. And that, I think, needs to be a little bit of a focus as well. And let people see a whole new level of excitement and a level of play, if you will, to creation that's out there, But then again, there are those souls that are meant to be right where they are. They're here working off their karmas. They're here for the first time or very few incarnations, enjoying the scenery. Yeah. Oh, what is this? Is this a little bunny rabbit? Is that a little bunny rabbit? This is K8 Gate. Hi, Dr. Morris. Really appreciate your channel. Thank you for coming in there. I have taken some close-ups of my eyes, but don't know how to attach them to your YouTube message. Are these them?